How's it going, gang? It's a final render here. Today is Thursday, which means we've got a brand new Inside the Vault article released on Bethesda's website to give us all the brand new, juicy news on Fallout 76. But not Juicehead's news video on Fallout 76. I'm sure he'll have his own video on that subject. But we're going to be looking at all the brand new juicy news coming out for Fallout 76, including some fantastic things coming to the game in 2020. Ooh, exciting. But before we touch on that, they also mentioned how Operation Cleanup Appalachia has been going really well. We actually have managed to unlock Meat Week again for another week. That started literally moments before I started recording this video. So for the next 7 days, you can go and replay Meat Week. You can go and get some of those plans if you didn't manage to get them the first time around, and just have a lot of fun with the community. But let's talk about some of the really cool quality of life improvements coming to Fallout 76 in 2020. Now, I know what you're going to say. Final render, you absolutely Herculean ripped man stud. Why on earth are you telling us about quality of life improvements coming to 2020? We're in 2019, goddammit! And I say, yes, that's true. It's very unusual that we're getting that. But the reason they are telling us about updates coming in 2020 is because they actually specifically state that they're trying to focus on Wastelanders first. And you know what? I totally agree with this point. Wastelanders is kind of a soft re-release for Fallout 76. All the people who felt they'd got burnt when they first bought the game almost a year ago now are willing to return to give Wastelanders a go. And if Wastelanders isn't technically perfect and doesn't just drop the ball on the story, then everything will be okay. Everything needs to run brilliantly with Wastelanders. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of lost hope for Fallout 76 in many people's eyes. But let's talk about some of the cool things they are bringing out in 2020. The first thing is a private test server. Now, I'm sure you're going to be saying, final render? Private servers? That's amazing, right? I gotta go tell all my friends and tell my dog and tell my grandma. Well, calm down there. Leave the lady alone. A private test server is not the same as private servers. A private test server is where you can go and test all of the updates before they go live to everyone else in the full game. It's kind of a beta server, in other words. So you kind of voluntarily agree to enter this private test server, possibly experiencing some bugs, so you can test things and report them to Bethesda. This really isn't very uncommon for a lot of online games. They typically do have private test servers, and Fallout 76 is going to be getting one at some point in 2020. So it's really good to know that we are definitely getting it at some point, but I don't really know when it means in 2020, and I'm sure some of you are going to be assuming that this would be a private server. It's not. Let's just get that clarified. But then after that, we get something really cool. We get Perk Loadouts. Perk Loadouts are currently going to be released in early 2020, and it's going to be really cool. Perk Loadouts actually did have a mod for it on the PC not too long ago. However, obviously, running mods on Fallout 76 is very risky business, so therefore most players on PC do not do it. However, there has been a mod for it for quite a while, so I'm hoping when they release it, it should run pretty flawlessly. Just the ability to set perk loadouts so that when you go and change your perks, you can just choose one of preset loadouts that you made. That way, you don't have to spend loads of time managing your perk cards. You can just quickly say, hit your crafting loadout, or you can hit your weapons loadout, or your exploding loadout. That way, you are able to quickly and easily change your perk cards and save a lot of time. Once you hit over level 50, you're changing your perk cards a lot, so it's really nice to know that we're getting this fantastic quality of life improvement in 2020. After that, we have MultiFactor Authentication, which is something very good that is coming to Fallout 76. This is when you essentially have to register a phone number or an email for the game, so that if you lose access to your account, you can go and get it back by verifying your phone number. This is something to protect you from hackers. And there have been several instances actually logged where people have had their accounts hacked and Bethesda have actually managed to return their characters to them after the hacker deleted them. So, very sloppy to let your password out, by the way, people. Let me clarify that, but this should help give a lot of extra security. Next up, we have Legendary Players. Legendary Players was something that was originally going to come out in 2019. However, they have said they're going to push it back until 2020. This was a system which was kind of like getting champion points in Elder Scrolls Online, for example, or maybe Prestige in Call of Duty, to where you could get extra special perk cards if you were a Prestige player after you hit the level 50 maximum to unlock normal perk cards. And this has been moved to 2020, Q1 of 2020 specifically, and I think that's a good thing. Let's get Wastelanders working and up and running first, before we start messing with the balance of the game by introducing legendary players. Last thing we want is people to just start Wastelanders and beat it in half a day because they are legendary players. Let's just get Wastelanders done first. And then after that, we have social menu fixes. There have been several issues with the social menu recently, and that has actually caused some trouble in game. Meaning, say, if the server crashes on you, you can't re-enter that server with your teammate, or if you get kicked out in a squad, you can't rejoin your teammate. Little things like that. And also sometimes for just smaller things like it's harder to accept a team invite. Just little things like that make it very, very difficult to use the social menu. The social menu honestly feels like something designed for a mobile game. It's very simple, you know, it's just very simple buttons. Let's make it a bit more robust and let's fix some of the issues so that we can actually join up in a squad in what is essentially an always online squad game. So I think that's a great thing. And also after that, we are getting additional public event improvements. And this is something which is actually going to be fixed a little bit very soon actually. With patch 14, they're going to be reducing the cooldown for public events, which is something which I think is a very, very good idea. Because for new public events, their cooldown is way too long. It means we can't just do lots of events quickly. It means we have to wait ages to do another event. But they're going to be reducing that in patch 14. However, in 2020, they are actually going to make it so that we get more improvements to it, including the ability to get performance-based loot. So therefore, the better you do in the event, the more of a reward you get, as opposed to someone who's just sitting on the side and kind of scrounging off of everyone else. They get less rewards. And also making it so that you don't necessarily need to tag legendary enemies in the events in order to get their loot. Now, I assume this won't actually apply to every legendary enemy if one just turns up, but for argument's sake, say you're doing the Scorch Beast battle and you don't actually tag it, but you actually do fight loads of other monsters, you will still be able to loot the Scorch Beast Queen, for example, which I think is a very important thing. Nothing is worse than the final boss of an event being a legendary enemy and you don't get a legendary enemy reward from it because you just didn't tag it. Very, very lame, but it's definitely going to be fixed at some point in 2020, which I think is going to be fantastic, along with other improvements to the public event system. So this has been a very nice little article overall. As I said, very strange to get information on what's coming out in 2020. But some other things which they have said they are looking into, but haven't confirmed, is 1, PC text chat, and also the ability to rejoin a server when kicked or dropped. Now, I just mentioned they're actually going to be fixing the social menu to improve that a little bit. But they are also looking into PC text chat. This is fantastic, people. People have always wanted PC text chat on the PC version. I'm sure people on the consoles probably want console text chat as well, even though they're probably going to be less vocal about it because not that many console games have that feature. But I'm sure if you were given it, you would be very, very thankful for it. We are far more likely to see people teaming up and having fun if we had PC text chat. Some people just don't want to use microphones. Can you believe it? Some people don't want to make noise so they don't wake up their baby asleep in the next room. Or some people don't want to make noise because it's really late at night. Just little things like that. So having PC text chat would be a fantastic thing to help improve this entirely online social game so we can have a lot of fun with our friends and make some new friends in the process. So thank you very much for watching this news update on Fallout 76. It's been fantastic. Remember to go ahead and check out all the cool Patreon people in the description below who help support the channel with their financial donations. You yourself, of course, can also do the same. We've got some cool things coming out in the future. We've got some really cool videos involving some prototype VR technology I've got my hands on, and we've definitely got some cool builds coming up for Fallout 76, but we're currently in the slog towards Wastelanders, people. We are counting down the time to get into Wastelanders, and we're definitely going to be looking for experimental and fun things to do on the channel to do with Fallout 76. So if you've got a fun task to do in Fallout 76, let me know, and I'll see if I can make a video on it. But until then, I've been the final render, and you've been the audience. And also, people, very big thank you to everyone, because we have finally hit 65,000 subscribers. That is really awesome of you guys. Thank you very much for going ahead and doing that, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.
Just wait.
You know what, though? I have seen this before. They can
We have, yeah.
I mean, if they're going to hide outside and they're waiting for it to close in, I've got this.
It's right here! Right there!
How did you not see him there? Yeet! Yeet!
Get out!
Very well done, guys. Very good job.
There we go.
Yeet!
Yes!
Oh yeah.
Nicely done, gang. Nicely done.
That was awesome.